why that shut off. One of those things. Where was I? My book, Good Guy, Bad Guy, Liar, B. It's the fourth state that I was left off was the truth, which is the opposite to lie. This is one of the things of the secret societies that people don't aware of. There's actually 4 states, or 4 elements, or 4 of everything, like fall, spring, and then winter and summer. You see there's the 2 opposing, the 2 at each end. There's the elements that are states of being solid, liquid, gas, and then the 4th state, which some people look at as plasma, or the non-seen, the other, that which is greater than the 3 solid, liquid, gas. There's 4. So in my book I explain, or I should point out, good, bad, and liar, truth. Even truth can be limiting or wrong depending on the perimeters of that truth. You see how the 2 play together. And then back on the good guy and the bad guy, today in the world you see people going around, oh, we're the good guys, or our corporation is the good guy, or our nation is the good guys. And in reality, the more you look at it, they're the bad guys. I mean, whose nation got invaded? Was it Saddam Hussein or Gaddafi? Were they invading the United States? Was the United States defending themselves? Well, we get back to the corporate world, the New World Order, the which is currently based on the petrodollar. They just didn't want to be part of the petrodollar because the petrodollar is unlimited. It has no assets, especially in the since 9/11. Incidentally, 9/11, right the day before 9/11 happened, there was a big hearing that was growing over the months and years on what happened to missing billions of dollars. And there was an investigation, and it was getting somewhere. Part of that investigation was, incidentally, being held at the Pentagon, the wing that got hit, and a number of the floors on the Twin Towers. And some of the information was on building number 7. And of course that all disappeared, and was dustified, and the investigation was just dropped, and we invaded Saddam Hussein, who had absolutely nothing. In reality, he was not going along with the petrodollar. And it's the same with Gaddafi. He was supporting his nation, and he was getting the entire continent of Africa following him. And today you have Iran that's not part of it. North Korea is not part of it. And a few smaller countries. Syria is not part of it. And so we're having these wars. Anyway, getting back to these 4 states, you see, the good guy isn't really, if he's going out and saying, I'm the good guy, he's not good or bad. He's simply lying. So he's the other part, the liar. a bad guy, a thief that holds you up by gunpoint is a bad guy, but he's not a liar. He's got the tenacity to hold you up and saying, I'm going to rob you. Whereas central bankers robbing you every day, and he gets a bonus in 2008 when everything goes to hell. He gets a bonus. Yeah. So you see, it's crucial that so much of our world is composed of these four. So it's a dualistic system, the universe is. It's, of course, in school today you're taught that everything is one, New World Order, that bad should be eliminated. I pointed out to somebody that was up in the MUFON level, which is a UFO investigating body, about Enlil and Enki, who are the Sumerian equivalent of the snake and God in the Garden of Eden. And I was telling her that you shouldn't judge one as good and one as bad. She says, well, I was just using as a reference purpose. Well, that throws everything off. It depends on how you look at Enlil and Enki. Sometimes they seems to be good, and sometimes they seem to be bad. One seems to support mankind, and one seems to support the bigger universe. Same with the snake in the garden. He was giving too much information to Adam and Eve. I'm not judging. I'm just stating that's the way it is. That's the way it was. That's the way the universe is. It's more four things than two things or one thing. Some of the modern New Age and communist teachers say that the universe is just love. That love is the only thing that really exists. Well, it's like white and dark, and that's why I use the term black state. I'm not supporting the dark state. I'm just trying to point it out and explain things so you get a bigger picture, so your perimeter is enlarged here. And this is something that you don't hear about other than in secret societies, and it's difficult, or if you get into them to learn this, you can't get out. In a sense, that's what the Clinton Foundation was, pay or play. Once you pay to play, you can't get out. And it's one reason there's a lot of bodies around. The only way you get out is dying, and you don't really get out then, because afterwards the world of the non-living, or the greater dimension, the fifth dimension, is a lot more complex than what you think. The world, the three dimensions, the four dimensions are complicated. The fifth is way more complicated, and that's one reason you don't remember anything when you're born. It was too much. You had an overload. There's only a few people that have a glimpse of that pre-life, or a former life, or another incarnation. Gosh, this is quite a bit. I trust that some of this opens your mind, expands your perimeters, I call it 5 dimensions, and some people do, because the one, first, second, third dimension is just that. You have to have a 4th dimension, which allows you to see or understand that there's a higher tuning in or higher vibration, a dimension of that exists. And if you achieve truly enlightenment and tunement, you cross over into the 5th dimension without dying. Most people have to die in order to get into the 5th complicated state of being. Wow. Yep.